When we were little, there was a certain word that usually made you think of a warm, fuzzy animal like a dog or a bear. It made you want to snuggle and nap forever. Life was good back then. But when we got older, we were tainted with exposure, plagued with the hidden meaning that crushed our innocence to dust and blew it away. Animals turned to costumes, fur to fabric, creativity to creative monstrosity, and childhood imagination to fetishes. Yes, I'm talking about furries. For the people in the back who need a bit of catching up, a furry is, to put it bluntly, someone who feels like their true identity lies within an animal, so they make an anthropomorphic version of that animal. Sometimes they make a suit to bring a type of physicality to their fursona, as they call it. Cute, right? Maybe, but it goes deeper. Dating sites, fantasy forums, sex toy websites, bestiality, and let me tell you, after researching this, I will never see tentacles the same way again. Dear Lord! It gets kinda loopy from there, and I'll touch on that later, but for now we're gonna talk about why and how furries are a thing. And it all has to do with two words: media convergence. It may be a no-duh type of thing to say, but digital media is basically what we use to entertain ourselves with today. Texting, social media, internet, YouTube, video games, movies, all of those things fall under the category of digital media. Why has it been important to the reason as to why furries exist? Simple. The whole idea of a furry started on the internet. Or at least it's gained most of its tractions and spread like wildfire across the interwebs, and the way it does it is through convergence. Media convergence, in the words of John C. Pavlik and Sean McIntosh, is the coming together of computing, telecommunications, and media in a digital environment. Basically, it's talking about how media works in a functioning world such as ours. It breaks down into three main categories: technological convergence, or specific types of media such as print, audio, and video, converging into digital forms like books, turning into ebooks, and radios into online podcasts. The next one is economic convergence, which refers to telecommunication companies merging with traditional media companies. Think NBC merging with Comcast. And the third being cultural convergence. This refers to the people that make up the media and those who react to it. If you're part of literally any fandom, you're involved in cultural convergence of media. Fun! But how does this relate to furries? Well, first, let's talk about their homeworld, the deep, dark bowels of the internet. So the internet, we all know about it, we all tolerate it. But what about it is the real driving force for furries? Let's start with social media. According to John Janst, the author of the Duct Tape Marketing blog, social media can be defined as the use of technology combined with social interactions to create or co-create value. In terms of furries, this can mean many things. The way they communicate is through social media sites. I don't think you'd find anyone in possession of a fursuit if you looked it up in, say, the Yellow Pages. But they do use social media as a main way of communication. They talk to each other through forums and blogs like Tumblr and Reddit. They make group chats to engage with each other with Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. They're able to organize cons and commissions to each other to make custom fursuits and fursona art through sites like Deviant and Tumblr. Yeah, Tumblr did a number for furries, may it rest in punishment. But you see where I'm going with this. Social media, much like how it connects us with our friends, helps connect furries with each other, with the help of furry dating sites like Furry Mate and Furzoo. Oh, I'm gonna have fun explaining my search history to my friends after this video. Not to mention that it gives anonymity and a cover to someone who wants to be a person by day and a goldfish by night. Seriously, the person next to you could be a furry and you wouldn't even know it. So we could see there's some convergence here. The internet being used in forms of communication rather than furries running into each other and talking, or barking, whatever they do, on the street, as well as cultural convergence. It goes without saying that there's a lot of cultural convergence laced within the lives of furries, because they themselves are a fandom. That leads straight into our next topic. Fan culture. This is the real meat of the concept of furries, and where most of the cultural convergence comes from. Individual furries come together to create what is simply known as the furry fandom, much like how people can be fans of big franchises such as Marvel or Star Wars. Within fandoms in general are different ways fans can really interact and get excited about what franchises they love. Some furries are considered celebrities on apps like TikTok and Tumblr, and actually have quite a large following and fans, considering their contribution to society is literally donning a university mascot reject and meowing at some poor unsuspecting pedestrian out on their morning stroll. But that ain't any of my business, so let's just keep on trucking. But really, the furry fandom is so large that there are legitimate conventions and formal events held for these people to let the fur fly. This dips a bit into economic convergence because you have these individual people investing money into and combining with larger companies to help make these events possible. Same with furry YouTubers and their sponsorships. Shamelessly fur-clad individuals team up with companies to sponsor them in hopes of buying a brand new furry shell, and in return the partnered company as well as YouTube gets some reward, all while making hashtag cute, hashtag family-friendly content for the world to enjoy. The same thing goes for art commissions, online fur shops, and, those... God, next thing I know, my personalized FBI agent is gonna bust down my door wondering what the fursuit is wrong with me. Ugh. Furries aren't the only ones who are part of fan culture either. We also have memes! Oh, the glorious memes and cringe compilations that would make even the most sour lemon pucker up so much that it collapses in on itself. Memes are a form of technological convergence, and cultural convergence as well. We share memes and sinful content to each other through, you guessed it, the internet. And the internet is home to some of the best cringe blogs and websites on the market, so you don't have to miss a single bit of the action. Feel free to ruin someone's day or even life thanks to convergence. Now this leads us into our next topic. Memes and YouTube videos, and even the raunchy furry fan art that will make your dog's nose bleed, is what the people of the media call user-generated content. Basically, it's content made by the user of the media. You don't have to be affiliated with the corporate side of YouTube just to make a YouTube video. Anyone can have access to the key that is the submit or upload button. Even those artful videos on wholesome sites that have a URL that begins with an X or ends in hub. I'm talking about Extra Math and Cornhub. I don't know what y'all are talking about. But what if I tell you that ever since you were young, you, the viewer, have been watching and enjoying content that involves furries? And I don't mean the type of content that will make your pastor spontaneously combust if he saw your 3 a.m. search history. Let me name a few individuals. Winnie the Pooh, Bugs Bunny, Sylvester the Cat, Mickey Mouse, Nick Wilde, Judy Hopps, and Rocket Raccoon. What do all these characters have in common? Yes, they too are furries. Yeah, don't worry, I too felt the sinking feeling of freshly ruined childhood. You're not alone. They're not furries as we know them today, though, but they are sentient, anthropomorphic animals, who also happen to be some of the most well-known fictional characters ever. Where do you find them? It's not the internet this time. It's other, older forms of media in the shape of movies, TV shows, and comics. This form of content churned out by big-name companies is called mass media. Because think about it, a film has so many other companies weaved into it to get content made and distributed. There's your economic convergence, and it helps become globalized in the mainstream and culturally converged faster than, say, a video made by 3 people who pull in 40 views a day or night depending on what the video is. But why are some people so devoted to cartoons that they want to be one? Well, Scott McCloud, author of the amazing comic called Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art, says, when we abstract an image through cartooning, we're not so much eliminating details as we are focusing on specific details. By stripping down an image to its essential meaning, an artist can amplify the meaning in a way that realistic art can't. It makes sense. We find these characters to be funny, lovable, and sometimes relatable. So yeah, it's kind of no wonder why people who are younger and more tech-savvy know more about furries than the older generations, and God are they lucky. Imagine going around introducing yourself and handing out a business card that says you're making furs. Oh God, it's too soon.